Hello and welcome back. Oh my god. It's been a long time since I said that, and I don't think I got the tone right. Well, we're playing Pillars of Eternity. Last time I read a bunch, bloopered a bunch. This time around, apparently loading the game telling me, hey, you have Whitewash Part 2. No kidding! No kidding! As if I didn't notice my money gone. Anyway, we are in the ruins of Cilant or Killant Lee. I have no idea how to pronounce that.
As you wish.
Do not ask me. But this is, for all sakes and purposes, the tutorial dungeon. It is
Someone else has been here.
not a very big problem with it. There is no really big threats. There is some loot here, as you might notice. We can get a torch, small shield, nothing too fanciful. A mace, 2 camping supplies. Now, camping supplies is something I need to discuss with you. And hammer and chisel. Camping supplies, the amount of them that you have
What is it?
depends entirely on your difficulty. On the new story mode difficulty, you have infinite slots for camping supplies, I guess. On easy, it's 6. On normal, it's 4. On hard and Path of the Damned, it's 2. So usually it's not really a problem. Obsidian is pretty sensible enough to understand where one camping supply should be put, and they give you camping supplies aplenty as you go. Let's discuss a bit the lore. We haven't really discussed the lore. This right here is an Engwithian ruin. Engwithians are basically people of old that build giant temples dedicated to gods. These ruins are now protected by the Air Glanfath people, or Glanfathians, which are the people that attacked us in the camp. And apparently someone stepped into the ruins. Well, surely we'll find some clue as to that. Let's proceed forward. The path branches up to north and east, I guess. If you define this as east, it's southeast, I guess, and northeast, whatever. Here we're gonna meet a Zorib. A trembling, sickly creature emerges from the dark, clutching a spear. Knobby elbows and thin ribs show through its scaly flesh, but you recognize it as a Zorib. It watches you cautiously, breathing in ragged sighs. I'll tear you to pieces, lizard! The Zorib's eyes narrow as it hisses at you. It lunges, raising the spear. Very dramatic song for a very standard enemy we're gonna meet a lot of. Oh, down the road. Oh yeah, sneak attack. You done. Sneak attack. If you're wondering, I've actually been playing a rogue recently, and the rogue is pretty fun, I have to admit. More lockpicks. Lockpicks are useful for, what else? Unlocking. However, you still need the skill. The lockpicks don't make it granted, alright? They just can aid you in case your skill is a tiny bit too low. Here, we're gonna get ourselves an Engwithian relief gem, as well as a tattered journal. The small folio is torn in several places and blood has soaked into several of the sheets. One later entry is still legible, however. I can't believe my luck. A few rounds of dice and I've got myself on a genuine Engwithian artifact. Fellow who had it said it was pretty nothing as far as he's concerned, but it's not willing to go digging in some ruins. But if he's right about this gem leading to a hidden treasure, then that's worth sneaking past the paint and the elves. He is referring to the not the Engwithians, the Glanfathians. I had to Cilant leave in the morning, and then it's just a matter of finding this relief he was talking about. So is this guy the one that, you know, that's a quest item, it goes straight into the stash?
Wait, do you hear that?
No, I don't. But
Yes.
generally speaking, this is the...
Be quiet.
This might be the person that the guys saw entering and they thought, hey, maybe it's from the caravan. Here we find a Skolder whelp. Don't get too cocky about it. They're still pretty tough creatures. They have a daze attack, which can plentifully stun you. There we go. However, he did not have a good time. I also forgot to check something for that 45 hit. Oh yeah, I did indeed do 45 damage last episode. The more you know. Okay, there are some vases with a hand axe. Hand axe is a light weapon, by the way.
Think we could get through?
It's a light melee weapon. By definition, it's as fast as a dagger, a stiletto, or a rapier. Any one of those, you know. It's a pretty decent weapon. You get the 5 deflection bonus, so it's useful for tanks at any rate. Not the best weapon, but certainly something noteworthy. A crack runs along this wall from floor to ceiling. A light gust of air passes through it. Push on the wall. Despite the damage, the stone looks heavy and solid. I said push wall. You push with all your might and crack begins to spread. Finally, you feel the ancient masonry give away. The wall crashes down, revealing a circular room ahead. Bam. Apparently having 18 might certainly helps in that endeavor, doesn't it? Alright, so we're gonna go slowly
I can scout
here.
ahead. See what's
What you
around the
need?
corner.
Sure. Let's show the dynamics of Scout now. His skill is on stealth is 2. It's not a lot. It's
What is it?
unfortunately not a lot. I don't think I can get too close. As you can see now, the meter here is filling up. Once it reaches full yellow, it starts filling up a red meter. That basically means suspicion. I feel like yellow means the suspicion is growing. Once the yellow meter is filled, the enemy is gonna start approaching you. If the red meter fills, you're automatically out of stealth. So if you just move a bit away, you'll see that it goes away. Usually your radius of sight is bigger than theirs of any enemy, so you can use stealth to your advantage always. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna trigger this Scolder on purpose, but there is more Scolders. That's fine. I can take it. I'm a big man. Now Hyodan and Kalisha are gonna come from behind. Kalisha is gonna try to take down this guy, and Hyodan is gonna try to blind the whelp here. Hey, they managed. So hopefully Hyodan will take care of himself now. We're doing a lot of damage. I think we're absolutely fine, despite the fact that we're on hard difficulty. Hard difficulty, I don't know if it does anything. I think it does something to their damage maybe, but not that much. What it mostly does is it adds enemies. It outright adds enemies. Enemy numbers are affected by your difficulty and your party members. The less party members you have, I feel like the less enemies there are. At least I think. I'm not sure, but I think it's the case.
I think we found an exit.
So
Sounds like a star path, too.
solo is definitely possible with just about any class, I feel. So there's a few spear spiderlings. Spear spiderlings are nothing too fanciful, they're just good old spiders. Shoutouts to this.
Of course.
So that's the exit. We don't want to go to the exit. We first want to explore a bit more of these Ingwithian ruins. No, no, don't go there. You'll see why what I'm talking about. Ingwithian ruins are certainly particular. Now, I said earlier in the last episode that I would discuss Adra. This is Adra. This here is likely what the title means. Pillars of Eternity. Eternity probably means Adra by game definition. Not like Adra translates to...
What are those symbols?
Not that Adra translates into eternity in our language. No, I don't think so. Adra is just like a material. But the eternity, the eternal part is probably the Adra. Because it's pretty old, considering that it's still here in an Ingwithian ruin, which was built God knows when.
They'll never know I'm here.
Free experience, by the way. Hyodan can disable all of these. To this point, we're gonna go into speed mode. And he's just gonna disable all these traps for easy XP. By the way, if you manage to actually get him hurt by not not confusing the Glenfathan leader outside, Hyodan is gonna get an injury. He'll ask you to rest. Kalisha is gonna be like, no, we're not resting here. If you rest, despite what Kalisha said, she's just gonna move out on herself and she's gonna be dead here on this tile. Alright? Just in case you were wondering, that's what happens. I tried it. Fun things. There might be also a way to get Hyodan to die before that, I'm not sure. But either way, right now in our stash, someplace... No, I guess these do not give me any traps, actually. Yes. Never mind.
Stay quiet.
Alright, next room.
Those symbols. Just like the tiles.
Of course they are. You see them here. In fact, if you see a symbol of a patterned circle is inscribed in the pillar. An unlit brazier sits at its base. It could be lit, if you had the means. Use the torch to light the brazier. Kalisha has a torch. Flames kindle swiftly in the brazier, winding their way upwards. If you're actually a flame godlike, fire godlike, you can do this with your own head. It's pretty funny. Alright, that is done. Now, doing this, what it did right now is absolutely nothing. It would have disabled those traps. Oh well. Is there any flavor text here? There is. Very long one. The mural must be ancient, yet the colors are still bright and vivid. It shows a procession of Ingwithians from all Keith races. Amawa, Elf, Orlan, Dwarf, and Human. So yeah, Ingwithians aren't a race, they're just like an ancient nation. Say like, I don't know, ancient Egypt. I think that's fair. They walk among pillars similar to the ones that span this chamber, each one topped with a flame, as you can see. But this, I don't think this is what the game refers to as Pillars of Eternity, because this is the last time we're gonna see these pillars. Well, not particularly these ones with flame, but particularly these ones with flames. Normal ones, there might be plenty still. We're gonna go into scout mode and slowly step here. Oops, that was a bit too hectic, I guess. No worries, it's just a couple of oozes. Holy mother of God! That was a cretin. Holy crap! Well, I got downed. Tutorial slime killed me. Don't worry, I'm fine. I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna be a tiny little bit weaker. You'll see why, because I have set up the difficulty with injuries if you get knocked down. But you get up again. I have a severe burn apparently, -2 dexterity and -8 damage reduction. Ouch. Yes. So yeah, apparently black oozes can one-shot me. As you can see here, a vicious slick of something dark and tar-like runs down this wall. The shapes and bulges in the ooze suggest that something lies beneath it, but you can't tell what. So we can use our water skin, not ourselves, the water skin that we got from Sparfell, to clear off the ooze. Why not? Sure, I mean, if I don't drink overnight, I'm gonna die. You rinse the ooze away, revealing an intricate relief of a man's face. The sunburst surrounding it has chipped away in places, but details of his head, from tight curls of hair to the ridges of his pointed ears, still showcase remarkable craftsmanship. One eye socket is empty, a gem fills the other. Well, we got the other gem, so let's place the gem in the other eye socket. The chamber begins to rumble, stray rocks dancing across the tile floor. Finally, a large section of the wall gives way. Get ready to get knocked down. Jesus! What's up with the black oozes hitting so hard? I guess that's where my Brigandine would come in handy. It's not funny. But generally speaking, black oozes actually do plenty of damage. So we're gonna get a minor cloak of protection, which gives us basically +5 to all saving throws. That's not bad. It's not grand. Also some amethyst and some aggro, which is useful for crafting items later on. The best part of it is we get a wobbly cloak on our back. Cloaks are nice. And with this room is complete. This path is complete. So right now it's just this room left. So let's go that way. We're doing good progress for now. Certainly more than last episode where half an hour was basically explaining, hey, this is how you create a character if you didn't know. Which you might know. So there's spiders again. Let's see if we can maybe aggro them with Kalisha, since she is a bit tankier right now than me, which I have an injury, of course. Okay, the spiders are triggered. I'm gonna try to blind the big, famished spear spider. Kalisha is gonna attack the small ones. And I'm gonna join Frey and potentially attack this one really quickly. One-shot it with my Flames of Devotion, because Flames of Devotion OP. And we win the battle unharmed. Harmless? Unharmed. Alright. Here's a side room here. I don't think there's any traps. I don't think there's any trap anytime soon right now. We get a helm. We can put that helm on for fashion reasons, but I don't think it looks that nice. Let's keep it.
What is it?
It looks silly. I like it. Okay, there's some flavor text there. Bats as large as chickens are strung in the web. Ouch, poor bats. As large as chicken too, so pretty big bats. Very big bats. Love the butts. Oh wait. Alrighty. It's nighttime and we're out of the ruins of Cilant. But four figures stand before an otherworldly apparatus, an ancient structure of chiseled adra and metallic veins, ominous and looming like a silent observer. Standing motionless in their midst is what appears to be a human body, colorless as stone or ash. The other figures gaze upon it in what might be contemplation. From your vantage point, you are well obscured from their view. The figure closest to the machine stands out among them. A thick grey beard frames a face otherwise hidden beneath a metallic mask. His faded robes are embroidered with a runic language unlike anything you have ever seen, and he wears a strange black headdress with two protrusions that jut out like the wings of some malevolent creature.
Oathbinder, bear witness, and see this man has kept his word true to his last breath, full to his blood's last drop. Guide his soul, queen that was, and regard it among your favored. Let his life by the key be his confession. Let his death by the key be his absolution. May he walk the world ever free of the crushing weight of the book.
Notice the capitalized letters. It means that he's referring to something very specific.
Your brother has done his part, and you have seen the power of his contribution. I will accept no further hesitation from the rest of you. In the sight of the queen that was, will you fulfill the oath? Will you take your place beside your brother in the endless esteem of her memory that is without flaw? Step forth and be assured of the great worth of your life's course.
They didn't really agree to it, but I guess they probably regret their decisions. For an instant, the apparatus goes quiet and the air is still. Then, all at once, it erupts with a concussive surge. Light floods your vision and you are knocked to the ground. Your head snaps back as you land, and pain wells into the back of your skull, washing your last thoughts away into the black, unconscious void. You open your eyes to a different place, another time. You stand in a circular room, grand and domed, its walls lined with adra and trimmed with copper. The style is ancient, but the chamber is unweathered. At the far end, a great pillar of adra, yeah, good, pierces the floor from below, its shimmering texture giving the illusion of boundless depth. Encircling the pillar is an apparatus much like the one you have just seen, but immense and multifaceted and intertwined. Your thoughts are yours and not yours, and they seem to exist before you think them. And they are all questions, pressing questions, troubling questions, questions that must be answered. Or... At the base of the pillar, now, you see a man with a thick grey beard in ceremonial robes, crowned with a strange ornamental headdress. You know this man. You're walking towards him now at a pace that is hurried, while trying not to appear so. You have something you want to ask him, one question above all, and the question spins madly in your mind. That gold glow there can't mean anything good. You awaken to find your malaise has broken, only to be replaced with something far more concerning. Faint whispers are audible at the edge of your hearing, like a ringing in your ears that does not subside. Movement flits through your periphery, but when you turn to look, you can see no sign of whatever it was. You find your gaze regularly darting this way and that, an involuntarily paranoid tick. If this is a sickness, it may be dangerous to go without treatment for long. The figures at the machine stand frozen in place, flesh and blood replaced by cinders and ash. The man who led them is nowhere to be seen. Hyodan and Kalisha lie bloody on the uneven cobbles, their bodies twisted unnaturally in death. You are alone and far from help. Gilded Veil may be your best hope of receiving treatment before things get worse. And we get leveled up! Well. Yay! Our friends died. Aww. Apparently it's really awkward to target them, but we get basically all the items that they dropped. We leave their bodies lying dead, naked. What a nice paladin. What's that? It's a torturing device. Oh no, what am I seeing? Well, I'm gonna assume that you've played the game so you know what you're seeing, but if you didn't, I'm not gonna go ahead and spoil it for you. Let's just say that the vision we just had is really important for the lore purposes, but we're not gonna talk about it until the end game, actually. So we see lots of people being tied down to... You should disappear, actually. That should disappear. Oh, there we go. So we get vessel flesh, you know, from these guys. We just turned them into ash from a nice little statue that they wear. At any rate, we should go to Valewood, which is, much to your surprise, not the same region for the Wood Elves in the Elder Scrolls. So right now we're also tired, and we have our fatigue reduced by 20, accuracy by 25%. No, wait, accuracy reduced by 20 and maximum endurance reduced by 25%. So yeah, we're pretty weak. Luckily, right here is a body with a conveniently placed fire camp. Only look at that. We have a maximum of 2, so we can't really pick it up. But we can rest and pick it up later. First, let's level up. So what are we gonna level up here? I think we're gonna go with at least 1 point of survival, 1 point of lore, and 1 point of athletics. As you can see, all of these cost me only 1, so I have already 4 athletics, and it cost me only 1 point to get the 4th level. Next level costs 2. Every second level that you acquire after you level up, not the when you create your character, once level 2 or above, will cost 2 points. That's all. We're gonna go with, well, let me see, received healing multiplier is not bad, but I think damage reduction might be best, at least until we can get the bonus damage versus flanked enemies. I'm gonna go with 1 more point of lore, and that's gonna be it for my level. Well, maybe 1 point of stealth just to, you know, not get detected the moment an enemy appears. That might be actually helpful. What are we gonna go with? Intense Flames augments the power of the Paladin's Flames of Devotion, increasing its damage, so... It adds 25% more damage as burned, so it does 75% damage as bonus as burn. Untroubled faith, the paladin's belief become more than just a sum of his or her actions, negating reputations that negatively influence faith and conviction. So basically, I have no idea what that does, but I suppose it gives me some bonuses to deflectional defenses. Basically, paladins gets bonuses to those as long as you are of that kind of character. You know, you have to be stoic in this case for the Gold Pact Knight. So I get bonuses if the more stoic I get. I don't want to become, I don't know, some kind person with, I don't know what, stuff. I'll explain to you better next time once I inform myself. Deep Faith. The intensity of the Paladin's faith deepens, granting them increased defensive bonuses to faith and conviction. Faith and Conviction is just a passive ability that they start with. And Enduring Flames. The Paladin's Flames of Devotion do burning damage over time. Yeah. 50 damage inflicted over time, 10 seconds. It's not bad. It modifies Flames of Devotion. I'm gonna go with this one. I feel like this one might be very much the best option. There is a lot of these smaller class talents. These are actually some sort of dual class talents or multi-class talents in a minimum way. For instance, Acolyte's Radiance is gives me some the Acolyte's Radiance ability, which heals once per encounter, which is a cleric ability. Sneak Attack is a rogue ability. Aspirant Mark is a druid. Enigma's Charm is a cipher ability. Novice Suffering Monk. Outlander's Frenzy is really good, and we're gonna go with, likely also with Sneak Attack, because we're not gonna be the one tanking the damage, so we're gonna be the one flanking. It's gonna give us bonuses. This one is really good. Free Might, Free Constitution, 25 attack speed, minus 10 deflection, health, and endurance concealed for 11 seconds. It's really good. Alright? Yes, you don't see your endurance and health, meaning that you might die anytime. It's not a big issue. The might and constitution and attack speed bonus just make up for it. Once per encounter, it's amazing. It's basically as good as the barbarian one. Just that barbarians get it twice and they can basically get double the bonuses after a while. This is mage. Rhymer's Summon is okay, but it takes 15 seconds to charge for 2 skeletons. I don't think it's worth it. Runner's Wounding Shot is actually useful for mages that use wands and that they are ranged. A hobbled effect is not bad. Hobbled is basically like a flanking. It reduces dexterity by 2, movement by 1.5, and reflex by 20. It's very useful, actually. I don't know if you can use it with melee attacks. You might be. Despite the fact that it specifically says shot. Veteran's Recovery is also really nice for any tank that is not a warrior, because you get endurance per 3 seconds for 40 seconds. It's not bad. It's really good. But we're gonna go with Enduring Flames. You also get a lot of offensive, defensive, and utility talents. Honestly, I wouldn't bother with this 3 until much later on when you have nothing smart in the class talents. Class talents are usually the most unique and the best ones. Enduring Flames, it is. Alright, let's rest. See, because I put 1 point in survival, now I can get the damage reduction bonus as a camping bonus. So we're gonna rest, and we're gonna get a damage reduction bonus to skill. You might be thinking, hey, this is a particularly interesting dream. It's really not. You either dream that or the campfire. It's just that. Okay, so now I know more or less where enemies are in this area because of the times I've played the game. So I don't worry about just going fast and furious around this place. I know that we'll have to return later on with a full-fledged party here, by the way. But that will come in only later. I cannot loot this body? Alright, fair enough. Hello. It doesn't matter that I didn't see it. See, now that my Flames of Devotion got fiery instead of blue. That is possibly because I'm a Gold Pact Knight, by the way. No, not possibly, it is because I'm a Gold Pact Knight. So I killed this bandit readily. Now we're gonna save the game because I have no idea if I'll be able to do the next encounter successfully. This is possibly the only place I would have used Gaun's Pledge, but I decided not to. As you can see, there's 3 bandits and a cook dwarf called Tenfrith. So we're gonna try to get close. Even if they detect you, they're not gonna engage in conversation right away. I have no idea why. But we want to take down the archer as fast as possible. Archer, rogue. This is a fighter. It's gonna be a bit harder to take down, but it is not as dangerous as the archer, I feel. The young dwarf tending to the stew looks up, startled, as he sees you approach. He drops his ladle, spattering stew across the ground. What? The bandit turns. Get him, you dogs! And make sure our new cook don't run off. Help! Please, help me! One of the bandits gives Stanfrith a kick as they pass him, and he huddles. Alright, bring it on, you fools! Okay, being able to basically do half of his damage in one hit is pretty useful. Have no fear, I still have my second wind. Or second... Is it question! I never understood this definition. I know it's used globally in gaming. Is it second wind as a wind? Or is it a wind as a wind up? I feel like it's a second wind. I'm not sure. We're gonna kill the rogue next because screw rogues. I should be able to take care of them. As soon as the rogue falls, I'm no longer flanked. I still have half of my health. Sure enough, this guy is a warrior. As you can see, he just healed up by 6 health points because of his abilities as a warrior. But this doesn't last forever. If the combat lasts 42 seconds or 45 seconds or whatever it is, it just runs out. But as you can see, my two-hander actually can hit pretty hard, and I kill him. Good job. Let's loot. We get a fancy cowl. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna put it on my head. Secondly, is there an armor more fashionable than mine? Hey! Hey! Don't judge. This is basically the same, only it looks different. It looks more rugged. I like it. I like that a lot. The rugged look is nice. Hey!
Hail, traveler.
By the flame, thank you! Thank you, thank you! I thought I'd be stuck cooking for those ignorant weasels for the rest of my life. Or until they were bored with me, I suppose. I must get back home. I only hope that they haven't hired a replacement. The dwarf looks aghast. Listen, next time you're in Gilded Vale, stop by the Black Hound Inn. I'll let Pasca know what you've done for me, and I'm sure she'll do right by you in turn. Hope to be back at my oven again. He is an excited dwarf to be cooking stuff, you know. Very excited, man. That's fine. Now, as you can see, there is a body, some flowers here. I would love to loot that. Unfortunately, there is a group of wolves that it makes it really hard on hard difficulty to do solo. It is possible. I don't think with my paladin, though. I can try. In fact, let me try. If I can't, we're gonna return with a party, no biggie. I don't think I'll be able to manage to, but you can basically use this as a choke point for the big wolf to not come at you right away. There is a big wolf and 3 or 2 small ones, so, you know,
Keeping an eye out.
tricksy enemies, very tricksy enemies. So that's a young wolf. Young wolves we already fought. Let's go out like this. That's the big problem. That's the big guy that hits hard. But while we are actually attacking the young wolves, that wolf cannot attack, so we're gonna weaken the young wolves dramatically and see if maybe we manage to kill him with Flames of Devotion. We might be able to. No, I don't know. We'll see. I still have second wind or wind. It would be useful if these wolves stopped hurting me so hard. Oh boy, I wish I had my Brigandine ready.
No prisoner!
Kill that guy fast. Alright, now kill this wolf with Flames of Devotion if you're able to. He hits real hard. But I'm at full health! Hey! What up? Bring it! That was a lot of damage. Uh-oh, that's bad. I am down and I'm back up. I get knocked down, but I get up again. This might be very clutch. This is incredible clutch. One good hit from either side might end the game. Get wrecked! You didn't believe I could do this, huh? Well, me neither. There are some ruins here, some stairs that are ruined, and there's this message here. These aged walls appear to have once encircled this entire glade. Only a small fragment remains, and the stairs leading to the top of the structure have crumbled away. Examine the worn wall closely. The heavy bricks are slick with moss, presenting a hindrance to climbing, but the stones themselves seem sturdy enough. Given the right tools, one might easily reach the top. Let's try to scale the wall without tools. You find handled upon one of the large stones and start to pull yourself up. You make your way up steadily up the crumbling ruin over the top. I am surprised. I guess I have high enough athletics to do this. Athletics actually helps with such skills as climbing, not getting hurt while you're floating down the river, stuff like that. We're gonna get here Fulvano's gloves, which is a really, really good start, by the way. As well as a note, a scrolled letter. I do not think you will ever see this, but you were right, Fulvano. We should have journeyed south together and been safer for it. I would tolerate all the gloating in the world if I might live to hear it. I have put myself out of reach of the beasts encircling below, but I am done for all the same. I do not think I will rise again. Whoever finds this, pray for me. Perhaps in the next life I shall be a trapper of wolves. Rest in peace, my friend. Camping supplies, not a big issue if we cannot get them. But more importantly, I thought that I put them in my inventory, but I didn't. Fulvano's gloves with 2 dexterity bonus. It's a really good set of gloves early on. So what is gonna 2 dexterity give us? Well, it's gonna give us more action speed and more reflex from 18 and 12 to 24 and 16. We get a solid 6 points % of faster swing attack, as well as a bit of reflex saving throw, which is really nice. Anyway, let's move forward. Here is Nanton. Let's talk to Nanton. Damn thing, come on!
Greetings.
The man appears to be hurried, dismantling his camp quick, jerky movements. He looks up as you approach, his expression tense and drawn. Greetings, he says, a little breathless. On your way south, is it? Have to say, don't see too many Amawa out this way. You headed to Defiance Bay? Lots of work on the harbor, I hear. He wipes his brow, turning to face you. The sooner you're clear of these woods, the better, I think. Never mind the woods, there is a strange machine in the ruins up north. There were these figures clad in black performing some kind of rite. The man brows furrow in concern. Ruins? The old Ingwithian place? You want to keep clear of those, whatever you saw. Strange things always crop up around Ingwithian sites. I don't doubt those people you saw were up to no good. Let the Glenfaddens deal with it. They don't take kindly to trespassers, whatever their intentions. And that's enough to worry about in these woods as it is. His expression falls. We came across a bear in a cave up to the north. Got the better of a friend of mine. It only just made it out with my life. I only just made it out with my life. In any case, this forest already cost me a friend. I'm heading home before it takes anything else. Where did you find this bear? In a cave, a ways up that way. He turns to point to the northwest. I wouldn't seek it out if I were you. It was a great brute of a beast. Would hate to hear that it took another life. And we're not gonna seek it. Of course we're not. Who are you? My name is Nanton, born and raised in Gilded Vale. Haven't had a spot of luck since. His face twists. Luckier than Pearly, I suppose. What happened to your friend? We didn't see it coming. Nanton's voice shakes a little as he speaks. We were following a stag. Pearly, he saw something in the brambles, and we went tearing off after it. We all but stumbled in the cave. Poor Pearly didn't stand a chance. The bear was always on top of him before we knew. Well, the bear was on top of him before we knew what was happening. Brent. The beast will take what they will, I suppose. He smiles sadly. How can you smile sadly? And this time, Galwain's favor fell upon the bear. Alright, so yeah. Alright. Let's steadily explore a bit more of this area. Guess what? More camping supplies, as well as a scroll of Tanglefoot. To read scrolls, you need lore. Alright? That's as fancy as it gets. I think every level of spell higher is 2 more Lord skill. I think the highest level scrolls are 8. I think. Little wolf, no harm, big amawa.
Kill them all.
Bring it on. Alright. Should I make it a Slavic amawa? That would be fierce as heck. But then again, it fits his tall stature, threatening demeanor. Yeah, I like that. At any rate, let's check this out.
They won't see me coming.
Right here is actually a camp of little Zorips. Plenty of them. Not that many, honestly. 3 at most, I think. How about we kill them? It's 2, yeah, 3. It's nothing we cannot handle well enough. For now, I don't seem to get flanked, which is good. Oh, now I'm flanked. This basically gives me, what? Deflection minus 10. It seems like, yeah, I can take on 1 enemy before I get flanked. Once there is only 1 enemy left attacking me, I'm no longer flanked. That is where warriors get a boost. They can flank, they can get attacked by up to 3 enemies with a modal mode ability. Modal mode? A toggleable mode, I guess, ability. That outright lets them tank 3 of them without getting flanked. They are very good tanks. We can get a quarterstaff here, where we want to have a crush damage weapon. We're gonna take it. And you know what? We're gonna put it in our offhand. Essentially, crush is good against undead. You know, good old undead. Nothing more, nothing less. It's already nighttime, it's raining. And this is the cave bear. Bear cave, sorry. But this is mostly it for Valewood. And I think we're gonna go to Gilded Vale next. There isn't much else to be done here. Welcome to Gilded Vale, the loveliest town ever. Let's walk down and see if we can find someone that can help us. You know, good old sorts. By the way, Kalicia's sister lives here. Keep that in mind. Oh boy. What have we here?
You must be one of the new settlers. Welcome to Gilded Vale. You'll be pleased to know that we've had some recent vacancies here.
Do you welcome everyone this way? The only answer you hear is the buzzing of flies from the tree.
Of course, we'll need to make some inquiries first. The inestimable Lord Radric VII has taken great pains to insulate our town from Widewind's legacy. Have you ever sired a Hollowborn child?
Ugh.
That kind of surliness will get you nowhere in Gilded Vale. Lord Raderick has made it his first priority to eliminate this scourge from our village, and to him, no answer at all is as good as an admission of guilt. I should warn you, stranger. Here in Gilded Vale, we have a special place for dissidents, charlatans, and those who would hide a curse in our midst.
He steps to the side and inclines his head ever so slightly towards the deformed tree.
His lordship's wife is with child and due any day now. Without his approval, I shan't be able to find you a permanent settlement. It will have to wait until after the birth. We can continue our interview then, after the bell tolls from Radric's hold to signal my lord's new heir. In the meantime, you can find temporary accommodations at the inn, just southwest of here.
You said something about Hollowborn and Waidman's legacy before. He blinks. I forget that you foreigners do not have this curse in your homelands. The Hollowborn have been a scourge upon the Deerwood for almost 15 years now. He lowers his voice into a whisper. Children born without a soul. He shakes his head. Pitiful, dumb things that breathe barely, but do not truly live. Some say Hollowborn are a disease. Some say they are a punishment from the gods. He raises his empty hand. In truth, no one knows. But they began spreading after the Saints' War, And so the name White Man's Legacy stuck in honor of that foul, blasphemous pretender. His voice shakes with vitriol. Lord Radric's decree may seem strict at times, but he has our best interest in heart, he nods. If you have any other question, do not hesitate to ask. It is important that everyone in Gilded Vale understands our rules. Before I go here, I saw several people conducting a strange ceremony near some ruins. He regards you carefully. You'll want to mind where you mention that. Trespassing on Ingwydian ruins is illegal, not to mention dangerous. You probably saw someone attempting some new ritual to appease the gods. People try anything these days. Wrath have mercy, we certainly have. I don't think so. Just as they finished, there was a bivouac. He polishes his spectacle on his sleeve. If you'd been that close to a bivouac, you wouldn't be standing there. I've been feeling strange ever since a close call with a bivouac. Is there someone in town who can help? That doesn't make any sense how I basically... whatever.
Whatever your problem, it sounds like a matter for an animancer. However, the only animancer in Gilded Vale isn't in any condition to speak. Consider yourself fortunate. After she failed Lord Radric, we saw to it that she wouldn't profit from the misplaced trust of others. A bad cure is often worse than none at all. But if you're set on finding a bottle of troll piss or a dead Audra pebble to rub on your forehead, you're welcome to check her pockets. A little corpse stink is nothing when you're digging for shit. My advice, however, is to be satisfied that you escaped and leave it at that.
Goodbye.
Keep out of...
Listen!
2 tolls. Let that be the last.
3. Gods have mercy.
It seems your arrival is ill-timed. 3 bells toll only for the death of a Radric. I fear Lord Radric's heir is lost, or else Hollowborn, and so lost all the same. You should tread carefully. Circumstances have changed a great deal.
Don't threaten me, little man. He shakes his head and moved. It is no threat, only a warning. Lord Radric will tolerate no threats to his kin, or those who live upon his lands. Rift will not make him more docile. Does this affect the Lord's offer to new settlers? I can be sure of nothing right now. I advise you to get some rest. The inn, or stable for all I care. Find me afterwards. I will know more soon enough. Farewell. You know, I guess, other than the presentation of dead people on top of a tree, he's kind of an okay man, I guess. He's just a fucking oath.
Were you looking for someone in that tree?
Looking
I
for...
could introduce you.
looking for someone who can help me feel better. He gives an understanding nod as he takes a long drag from his pipe. My condolences. He exhales and turns his attention away, watching the village around him. Yeah, you know, scattered between the roots are bracelets of twine and bead, wilting flowers, and notes half erased by the rains. Sure enough, it never stops raining in Gilded Vale, so... Let's go to the tavern, take some rest, and I think that's mostly what we're gonna do today with our video. Things are about to get worse now. Hello. You see 4 people gathered by the door to the inn. Their raised voices and chopping gestures suggest an argument reaching its climax. The first figure raises his hands for calm. His face is partially obscured by a hood. His height and stature suggests an elf. His portraits, too.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we? My treat.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
Say nothing. One of the other men glares at the hooded elf. His eyes are red from drink, but his gaze is focused. You got a little gal mocking us in our village. We don't take ill treatment from foreigners, especially not Edirians.
Go on. Say it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
Why, you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cock's feather!
I'll cut that barrel-licking tongue out of your head.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
That's where you're wrong.
I don't think attacking him is such a good idea. The three drunks scowl at you. And why is that? He is reaching for something, and since it's not the rapier at his side, it's either a wand or a throwing dagger, and you don't look ready to deal with either. They look at each other. One of the men gives the other two a warning shake of his head before turning to you. We're done here for now. Beep. They looked at each other. One of the men gives the other two warning shake of his head before turning to you. We're done for now. But this one better watch his step around here because we're not going anywhere. With a final scowl at the elf, he turns to leave. As the three stumble away, the elf turns to you, the tension almost gone from his smooth face.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation.
You are welcome.
Courtesy is a rare pleasure in these parts. Though your accent suggests that you are no more local than I.
Hey! Chill with your racist comments. He straightens his hood and you note the remain of fraying embroidery on his gloves. His boots are caked with the dirt of many months' travel, but the leatherwork beneath is sturdy and fine.
Well, I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvisor, at your service.
Tell me about yourself.
Well, I'm a wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I'm grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here?
I was traveling with a caravan, but we were separated near some ruins.
In Gwithan ruins? Well, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. In half the locals would arrest you for trespassing, and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious, what exactly did you find there?
Man must have his secrets. Very well. What are you doing in Gilded Vale?
An excellent question. I came looking for fresh air and cheap land. Instead, the magistrate gave me directions to the inn and a story about the local lord's expectant wife. But I take it that's a familiar tale.
Yep. And you? I've been experiencing strange things as of late. I'm looking for an expert on souls.
Indeed. The local lord has searched far and wide for similar specialists. And he has rid himself of them almost as desperately.
He nods at the gnarled old tree in the center of town. His darting glance takes in tumbled-down buildings and the fallow, rock-strewn fields. I expect that such expertise would be best sought elsewhere. I should get going.
As should I, given recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
So do I. Let us go then.
Excellent. I shall follow you.
Of course. Good old Aloth.
What is it?
Now I selected that I level up every character that appears in my party because honestly it's the best way to handle this. Aloth is gonna stick around for a long time because of lore implications as well as otherwise. Mechanics. As I said, don't ever level up mechanics as your main character. Wink. Alright, so which spells are we gonna go with? Well, I think he has a couple of very basic ones. I like Ghost Blade a lot. I'm not gonna deny that. Ghost Blade is pretty nice. Granted, Fleet Feet is... well... Chill Fog, I think, is also pretty decent, but there is a better spell later on we're gonna get from another party member. I think Ghost Blade is decent. Yeah, let's go with Ghost Blade. It's pretty damaging. So we can get Arcane Veil, which is twice per rest, 50 deflection for 30 seconds. It's a lot of deflection. Or Grimoire Slam. Once per encounter, we get 21 to 32 crush damage, as well as 2 major push accuracy versus deflection. Blast. Passive. It's a speed of average, area of effect, foe target 1.78 meter radius. It basically just increases your ranged attack to have a radius. It's pretty decent, actually. And we're gonna go with exactly that. That I think is his level up.
Yeah.
I think usually they're like, yeah, they're about your experience every time you get them.
Well,
We're gonna get to the inn and just talk to the innkeeper because we saved their chef. Yeah, good. I hope they're happy. And then we're gonna conclude because it's been at least 1 hour now. Hello.
Well met, friend.
Hello and welcome to the... The innkeeper looks up. Oh, it's you! The Tenferit told us of what you did for him. It's such a relief to have him back. I can't thank you enough. Consider yourself a favorite of the house. Discounted drinks, rooms. Tenferit said he wanted to whip up something nice for you. He's already back to works in the kitchen. She laughs. So, what would you like? Bye. That's exactly what I wanted.
How may I help?
Okay, let's level up quickly both of this, guys. We don't really need lore with Aloth. What we're gonna give him is a point of stealth and a point of athletics. It's always handy to have at least 1 athletics, 1 stealth, 1 survival. After that, it's up to you. But ever since they've remade the athletics and survival skills, I think it's good to have at least 1 point in each. Stealth is just like, you know, for safety's sake. Now we get level 2 spells. I myself like a lot Console Hot's Corrosive Siphon, also for its lore implication, Console Hot spells. As well as we are going to go with either Curse of Blackened Side or Miasma of Dull-Mindedness. How long does either of them last? Does it have a duration? I don't see a duration. Is it permanent? What is this duration? 26 seconds. Wait, did I miss this duration? No, there is no duration here. I like the Curse of Blackened Side because it gives them blinded, which is accuracy is reduced by 25 for all sources, perception is reduced by 4, movement is reduced by 2, reflex and deflection are reduced by 20. It's a really good debuff early on. It's really good. It's really, really good. We're gonna go with that. It doesn't matter as long as you get like wizards get this grimoires, you know? And you get other grimoires. You can either completely shift the grimoire outright, or you can learn the spells from the other grimoire and put it in your main grimoire. And you can have a lot of spells, 4 active at a time, but a lot more spells than that. So it hardly matters which ones you pick. You'll usually come across any one of them. Let's level ourselves up. Again, we're gonna go with potentially lore. And we're gonna start building up a bit of survival. Yeah, I think survival now is nice. Until 6, it would be good. And then we just go lore and athletics all the way through. Now we get to either pick Lay on Hands, or we get one of the Zealous abilities. This is basically an aura from, like, for instance, Diablo. You get to pick an aura. You can pick more than them. However, you can have only 1 active at a time. Endurance gives me 3 damage reduction and 15% of incoming hits converted to grazes. Grazes are basically just small hits. Very, very unhurtful hits. There is grazes, there's misses, grazes, hits, crits. Yeah, I think that's all of them. This one gives me move speed and defense when disengaging, and zealous focus, which I think is the best. 6 accuracy and 15% of the grazes converts to hits. Why do I think is the best? Well, non-paladin characters get actually an ability, a talent later on, that allows them to pick an aura, a minor zealous focus aura that they can have active. Fun fact, both zealous focus and that aura stack together. These 3 do not. So you can have double the effect of it. Well, I guess not double, like an increase of 40-30%. It's pretty nice. And by the way, for having it active, you don't have absolutely any disadvantage. Sure, Lay on Hands is 62 endurance over 4.5 seconds. You know, it's pretty decent. We'll have plenty of levels still to level that up. And we're gonna have priests anyway. There is no real need to get Lay on Hands that early, I feel. So right now, my accuracy is 35, which is not that great. I activate Zealous Focus in an area of 4 meters, as you can see. 41. Aloth has 34. Not bad, huh? And with that, I'm gonna quick save and bid you farewell. Thanks everybody for watching, and until next time, when we're gonna discuss a bit about Gilded Vale, Lord Radric, and other sources. Be well. Bye! Yes! I cracked